name is Lena, and just 3 months ago I gave birth to my first child, a beautiful, healthy baby girl named Mia. She came into the world in the early hours of a cold November morning. My body was exhausted, but my heart was so full. I thought I was living the most magical moment of my life. But as I held Mia in my arms, recovering in that hospital bed, I caught my husband and Daniel texting his ex-girlfriend. I noticed how distant Daniel had become. He wasn't looking at Mia. He barely looked at me. Every few minutes his phone would light up and he would smile. That smile, the one I hadn't seen in weeks. I tried to dismiss it, told myself I was emotional, sleep-deprived, hormonal, but deep down, I knew. He went to grab coffee from the machine down the hall, left his phone on the windowsill. I know I shouldn't have touched it, but something in me, a cold, sharp instinct, pushed me to pick it up. I unlocked it. We never kept secrets from each other, at least not until that moment. What I saw, messages, long ones, dozens from Natalie, his ex. My heart dropped. While I was lying there, still sore from giving birth to our daughter, Daniel was reminiscing with another woman. Not just any woman, the one who broke his heart years ago, the one he claimed he had buried in the past. He wasn't just chatting. He was reconnecting, opening old wounds, flirting, and worse, he was enjoying it. I didn't yell, I didn't cry, I just looked at him, really looked, and for the first time in 6 years of marriage, I saw a stranger. "Is there something you want to tell me?" I asked. He hesitated, looked at the phone, then at me. And that hesitation was the loudest answer he could have given. Daniel didn't deny it. He didn't even try to hide the panic in his eyes when he saw the phone in my hand. Instead, he placed the coffees down, walked over slowly, and sat on the edge of the hospital bed. His hands were shaking. Daniel, hesitant, quiet. "I didn't mean for it to get that far. It's just, I don't know, Lena. Everything's been so overwhelming lately." Overwhelming? I just carried our daughter for 9 months, pushed her out of my body while he sat in that very room, and the overwhelming part for him was resisting the urge to text his ex. He kept talking, trying to explain, trying to paint the whole thing as some kind of emotional lapse, a moment of weakness. But to me, it sounded rehearsed, convenient. Daniel, defensive. "It's not what you think. I didn't cheat. I felt like I was losing myself. We've been distant for a while, right?" "Oh, we were distant?" "Yes, because I was throwing up every morning. Because I was trying to hold down my job while managing prenatal appointments. Because I was the one worrying about stretch marks and birthing plans and budgeting for diapers. I didn't realize that his version of reconnecting was typing out memories to the one woman who ghosted him 5 years ago. I asked him one thing, a simple, honest question. "Would you have told me if I hadn't caught you?" His silence was deafening. He didn't nod. He didn't shake his head. He just looked down at the floor, as if the truth had finally caught up to him and he couldn't face it. We were discharged a few days later. I didn't say much during the ride home. Daniel tried. He offered to carry the bags, change Mia, cook dinner. But I couldn't look at him the same way. It's strange how betrayal doesn't always explode. Sometimes it creeps in like fog, until you can't remember what the sun felt like. I started sleeping in Mia's room, told Daniel it was easier for night feedings. Truth was, I couldn't bear to be near him. The sound of his breathing at night used to comfort me. Now it felt like a stranger was lying beside me. He kept texting, but now it was me. Messages like, text from Daniel. Can we talk? I'm sorry, Lena, I really am. I miss you, please don't shut me out. But the apology felt hollow because the damage had already been done. Looking back, the signs were there. The late meetings, the sudden gym obsession, the way he always kept his phone on silent. And the worst part, I ignored them. Because I trusted him. Because we had built a life together. Because I thought that having a child would bring us closer, not pull us apart. Daniel, softly. Can we talk? Lena, steady, quiet. I'm listening. He poured his heart out, talked about how scared he was to become a father, how he felt lost in the new responsibilities, how Natalie had messaged him randomly, and how he felt like she was the only one who remembered who he used to be. That part broke me, because who he used to be was a man who held my hand during my first ultrasound, a man who built the crib by himself and cried when he saw Mia's heartbeat on the monitor. What changed? Was fatherhood really so heavy that he needed someone else to remind him of his worth? And why couldn't that someone be me? I didn't give him an answer that day. I didn't scream or ask him to leave. But something inside me shifted. The trust that once anchored our marriage was gone. Rebuilding it wouldn't be easy. It wouldn't be quick. And part of me wasn't even sure it was possible. Some betrayals don't end with breakups. Some linger like a shadow in a room you can't leave. I didn't know what the future held. But I knew one thing. I had Mia. And no matter what Daniel chose to be next, I would choose to be strong for her, for me. 2 weeks had passed. Daniel was still here. He hadn't left. He hadn't begged either. Instead, he existed like a ghost in our home, present but not seen. He took care of the dishes, cooked breakfast, changed diapers, but not once did he try to hug me. Maybe he finally understood what silence can say. I started writing down my thoughts at night, not because I wanted to process or heal or do any of those things therapists say, but because I needed a place to scream. On paper, I could rage. I could ask the questions I never had the nerve to say out loud, like Lena's written words. Would you have kissed her? Did you picture her when I was lying in that hospital bed? Did it thrill you to lie to me so easily? Maya, concerned. You don't have to stay, you know. Just because you share a child doesn't mean you owe him your peace. I know she meant well, but that's the thing about betrayal. It ties a knot between your heart and your history. Daniel wasn't just a husband. He was my person. He was there the first time I got promoted. The one who held me after my mother died. The man who kissed my pregnant belly every night for 9 months. How do you just walk away from that? How do you let go of a version of someone you still love, even if that version no longer exists? We used to dance in the kitchen at midnight. We used to whisper dreams to each other like secrets only we knew. Now we barely spoke past diapers and formula and doctor appointments. Maybe that's what scared him. Maybe that's why he went looking for something, someone who didn't need him to be dad or provider. Someone who just let him be Daniel. Daniel gently. I booked us a couples therapy session. Lena, surprised. You did? Daniel, nodding. Next Tuesday if you want to go, if not, I'll still go alone. Part of me wanted to tear up the card he handed me. part of me wanted to scream that no therapist could reverse what he did, but a deeper part, the one that still remembered our vows, she just nodded, not for him, but for the woman I used to be, the one who believed people could change if they truly wanted to. Therapist, calm professional. Let's start with the moment things began to feel different for either of you. I stayed quiet at first, let Daniel speak. He talked about how invisible he felt, about how he was struggling with the pressure of being everything at once, husband, father, man. Then the therapist turned to me, and I said the thing I'd been too afraid to admit out loud. Lena, voice trembling. I needed him more than ever, and he ran to someone else. That moment broke us open. There was no yelling, no accusations, just the quiet truth of two people who had let life bury their love and now had to decide if they wanted to dig it back up. Therapy didn't fix everything, but it gave us space, language, a way to understand that the person beside you can love you and still hurt you deeply. Forgiveness doesn't come in a grand gesture. Sometimes it's in the small things, like a hand reaching for yours after weeks of distance, like him staying up with the baby at night so you can finally sleep, like telling the truth even when it's hard. Daniel, soft. I blocked her a month ago. Lena, quiet. I know. Daniel, you do? Lena, nodding slowly. You changed your passwords, you left your phone out, that's how I knew. I didn't say I forgave him, because I wasn't sure if I had, but I was beginning to understand something deeper. Healing doesn't mean forgetting, it means remembering and choosing peace anyway. I don't know what tomorrow holds, I don't know if we'll last forever, but I know this, I'm stronger now, wiser, softer in the places that matter and sharper where I need to be. I was betrayed when I was at my most vulnerable, but I didn't let it break me. I rose from it, and no matter what happens next, I'll keep rising. Time is strange. One day you're shattered, the next, you're just a woman packing away baby clothes that don't fit anymore. The pain didn't vanish, but it stopped screaming. Now it whispers, and I've learned to live with the whisper. I started journaling again, but not out of pain, out of clarity. I wrote about how I survived the worst parts of myself, how I looked betrayal in the face and refused to let it make me bitter. And one day, I even wrote this. He hurt me, but I healed me. We started going on short dates again. No expectations, no forced conversations, just time, and slowly, something returned. Not the old version of us. That couple was built on illusion and convenience and avoidance. This new version? It's built on truth, on ugly honesty, on late-night confessions, on holding hands even when our palms still tremble with memory. Lena, calm. I used to think forgiveness was a gift I had to give him. Now I know it's a gift I gave myself. He's trying, every day, not to earn me back, but to become a man he can respect in the mirror. I'm watching, not waiting, loving, but with eyes wide open. Trust doesn't return like a light switch. It flickers, it falters, it rebuilds. One promise kept at a time. Mom, gently. You seem lighter. Lena, smiling. I am, because I chose not to carry the weight anymore. I set it down, every ounce of resentment, every replayed fight, every what if. I laid them to rest. And with that space, I started breathing again. I don't forget what happened. I never will. But I no longer let that moment define me. I was a woman who almost broke, but instead I rebuilt, stronger, wiser, and more compassionate with myself and with others. My daughter will grow up knowing her mother wasn't perfect, but she was brave. She'll know that love isn't weakness, that boundaries aren't cruelty, that staying is only noble when it's rooted in self-worth. Daniel, do you still love me? Lena, long pause then. I'm learning to love who you're becoming. And that's the truth. He broke me once, but now he's helping me put the pieces back. Not because I need him to, but because he finally understands I deserved better. And now so does he. Love isn't about never falling. It's about what you do after the fall. Do you rise? Do you rebuild? Do you choose again with eyes wide open? I did. And no matter what tomorrow brings, I know who I am now and I'll never forget it.